What's up guys, Jun with the Sushi Man here, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make my version of the famous new style sashimi created by Matsuhisa Nobuyuki, better known as Nobu. And if you're not familiar with that name, well, you're missing out. Nobu is one of, if not the most famous and successful sushi chefs of our time. Not only does he have countless restaurants across the globe, but also high-end hotels that take hospitality to another level. And the new style sashimi is one of his signature dishes that you can find at all of his restaurants. And for a good reason. It's just really darn good. Alright, now let's get right into it. So let me start off with a bit of history behind this. Back in the 80s at one of Nobu's first restaurants, he served a customer a plate of flounder sashimi, and the customer didn't eat a single piece and sent it back, saying she couldn't eat raw fish, which in those days was a very common thing. But rather than just tossing it or offering something else, Nobu came up with a really creative solution. And that was to sear the fish with hot olive oil and drizzle it with some citrus soy sauce. The customer ended up eating the entire plate and absolutely loved it. And that is how the new style sashimi was born. Nowadays, it's become such a well-known and popular sashimi dish that sushi restaurants all around the world are serving it, or at least their variation of it. And that's what this recipe is. It's inspired by Nobu's iconic dish, but with some slight tweaks. And that's the best part of it all. You can easily change the recipe to fit your personal preference. Alright, now let's move on to our ingredients. The most important ingredient we need is the fish, obviously. I usually like to use either hamachi or salmon, but you can use other fish like tai, hirame, or even other protein like thin sliced beef. Just make sure it's fresh and quote-unquote sashimi grade. I have about a pound of hamachi here that I'll be slicing into thin sashimi pieces. And we'll be using about a third to about half a pound total. Okay, next we have 2 cloves of garlic that we'll be mincing, and then about an inch piece of fresh ginger, and then 2 to 3 green onions. Next we'll need some ponzu, about 2 tablespoons of it. And then for the oil mix, we're going to be using 4 teaspoons of olive oil and then 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And that's it. Now optionally, you can sprinkle some toasted sesame seeds on top, add a little bit of microgreens, lemon slices. I mean, you could do whatever you want really, but this is pretty standard in everything that we'll be using today. Okay, now let's get into our prep. Alright, first let's cut up our garlic, ginger, and green onions. So I'm going to start off with the garlic. And basically we're just going to mince these up. Okay, now I'm going to peel the ginger really quick. And then we want to julienne slice this, which is when we cut it into thin strips. Alright, next we have our green onion, and these have been cleaned already. Now there's a few different ways you can cut this. You can slice them into smaller pieces by cutting crosswise, or make them longer, which looks a bit nicer for this. And we're only going to be using the green parts. So first let's cut off this white part. And then we're going to cut this at an angle so that the pieces are about 2 inches in length. And we basically want to slice this as thin as we can. Watch. Okay, now we're going to give this a little ice bath. And I'm just going to dump it right in there. And then we're going to let this soak for a few minutes. Now while we wait for the green onions, let's cut our hamachi. And I'll be using my sujihiki here since it's a better knife to cut fish. And we want to cut this into slightly thinner pieces. We call this style sogizukuri, and it's a typical method for nigiri sushi and sometimes for sashimi as well. And we always want to cut against the grain. Now, I plan to make a more detailed video on how to cut fish for sushi and sashimi, but for now, just remember to always cut against the grain, meaning the lines on the fish and the blade needs to make an X. Okay, so starting from the tail end here, we're going to cut slices that are about a 1/4 inch or so to about a tad bit thinner. And this very end piece I usually just save for like a roll or something. Alright, I'm going to leave this off to the side for now. Okay, now let's take out the green onion and we're going to dry them with a paper towel. And that's how you make green onion curls. Just a little fancier than your regular diced up ones. But anyways, now we're ready to make our new style sashimi. So first let's start heating our oil. So add both oils in a small pot or pan. And then we'll turn this on to about medium high. And this will take about 3 to 4 minutes or so, but basically we want to heat it up where it's smoking hot. Like literally it needs to start smoking. And of course keep an eye on it and be very careful. Alright, now we'll start plating the dish, and I'm using this long rectangular plate, but you can use a round one, square one, whatever you have. Just make sure it's made from a heat safe material. So first the hamachi. And try to place it nice and evenly so that it looks professional. Okay, next we'll add the minced garlic on top. And then a few slices of ginger on each piece. And then top it off with a little bit of green onion. And now we'll drizzle our ponzu right on there. Alright, now you see how the oil is smoking. This is when you know it's about ready. And we're just going to carefully spoon or ladle this onto here. So turn the heat off and then we're going to immediately pour some of this on here. And you'll hear it sizzle and start to sear the hamachi. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a simple yet elegant dish. Credit to Nobu for inventing it, especially back in that time. Now again, you can use a different fish and change out any other toppings to your own preference. Another great addition to this is some jalapeno slices, which goes so well with the hamachi. Though I usually skip it when I make this at home since my son can't really eat spicy things yet. But it's definitely one you should try. And if you enjoy recipes like this and want to learn more about sushi and Japanese cuisine, be sure to check out my book, How to Make Sushi at Home, a fundamental guide for beginners and beyond. I go over everything you need to know to become a professional sushi chef, which includes how to source high quality seafood, what are the right tools, how to cut fish properly for different types of sushi, step-by-step recipes, even how to pair sushi with your favorite drink. So if that sounds interesting to you, then check out the links below. And now that you know how to make this fancy sashimi dish, get even fancier by learning how to make a caterpillar roll with the video right over here. Alright, thanks for watching, and as always, feel free to leave any questions or comments below. I'll see you on the next one. ありがとうございます。